There's a lot of demons that are sort of maybe dormant right now that could rise up in this game. There's Mike Tomlin in the playoffs. There's the Steelers in the playoffs. There's the Ravens' playoff history. There's Lamar's playoff history and the Ravens and Lamar against the Steelers, if you still believe that exists. So if it's a close game late, whose demons rise up the most? Do you believe that Lamar and the Ravens dissolved that kryptonite that is the Steelers by the last game, or does it start to burn again? Do the demons rise late in this one if we got a close game in the fourth quarter?
I think, if I could pick the other demon is that guy Russell Wilson. I don't know how you guys believe in him going into this game.
Nobody does at the moment.
In a close game, it's Lamar versus Russell Wilson. And you can tell me, Russell Wilson's been there before. Okay, well, it was a long time ago. I think the one thing you have at an advantage, if it is a close game, I will put my money on Lamar Jackson over Russell Wilson. I will put my money on Derrick Henry over anybody else you throw out there. So I think in a close game, it's no longer a coaching game. It's a player's game. Close game become players' games. And I just think the Ravens have the better personnel to handle a close game. If this game is the 10-point game that we talk about, and then you talk about preparation and the Ravens being coached up to come out here and do what they're supposed to do early on. And that's what I question. I question whether or not the Ravens will come out and do what they have to do early on in this football game to put this football game away. Because if they don't, then it will be a close game. And that's what I don't want that, but if it does, I'd take Lamar Jackson over Russell Wilson.
I actually agree that I think this game goes the way of the best way to exorcise your demons is to draw them out, an exorcism. I think they're going to rise up for Lamar, and he's going to finally win a Steeler game late with a big play late. But I disagree, Rob, that these close games don't come down a lot of times to coaching. I would point to the Pittsburgh game in Pittsburgh earlier this year where Tomlin calls timeout right before that baffling 2-point play that the Ravens ran, and he said afterward they gave him a beat on what they were going to run. For one thing, they didn't have Derrick Henry on the field. I think Tomlin has outcoached Harbaugh late in these close games.
That's a great point. It is, but there's also a game in which a player was uncharacteristic, and that's Justin Tucker. If Justin Tucker is Justin Tucker, we're not even talking about this play.
Well, he's got it together, though, since then, right? He seems to have rectified.
Yes, but you're still talking about players deciding close games, and that's Justin Tucker's actions helped decide that close game. But you're right. Since then, since the bye week, Justin Tucker's been pretty solid.
Let me ask you this. Last time
you didn't forget how to kick.
Yeah. Last time we were together, you mentioned something that I was a little stunned about. That is, Derrick Henry fumbled in the first meeting, and he wasn't back in the game for a while. You said John Harbaugh punishes guys regardless of who they are, which is, again, to me, coaching malfunction. If you're going to have a guy like Derrick Henry, you just said 1,900 yards, what he's meant to them. If that happens again in this game, does he do the same thing?
I think Derrick Henry will have a hissy fit on the sidelines if he fumbles, number one, but not put back in that game. I think Derrick Henry will be joined by a couple other players in that as well. The Ravens were eliminated from the postseason last year against the Kansas City Chiefs because they didn't run the football enough with their running backs. I believe their running backs had 6 carries. That's not good enough. You cannot repeat that. You have arguably the most electrifying running back in the AFC right now. We know about Saquon Barkley. That's on the other side. In the AFC, he may be the most electrifying running back. You have to give him the football. And I say at the expense of letting Lamar Jackson do Lamar. But Lamar Jackson will tell you, Derrick Henry has to touch the football, carry the football at least 20 times in the football game.